Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the women's flyweight bout between Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Julia Polastri. And how I see this one right here. So a lot of people are leaning to Polastri, and that's how I've been noticing with a lot with these contender series fights, that people lean heavily to one side or the other. It's never really that much even unless the fighters are just happen to match up or actually have, hey, at least a decent bit of career experience prior to UFC. Many times it's not that much experience. It's always seems like the bettors, cappers, predictors lean heavily to one side. Whether they're right or wrong, they lean heavily to one side. I think I got caught up in that a couple times, but it is what it is. But I see this one right here. I'm leaning to the dog in this one. I'm picking the dog to win, and also even like not from just like a betting perspective, not like necessarily trying to really understand the fighting, and you're not just trying to throw money at stuff. Like from the predicting side and the betting side. The betting side, I just see it's a dog or pass. From the predicting side, like really trying to truly understand these fighters, I'm picking Jasmine Jasudavicius. So she's the underdog, so on the betting side, I'm leaning to her. And on the prediction side, I'm leaning to Jasmine Jasudavicius in this one. Because when I really look at Polastri, I'm not really impressed with her. She's going against a taller, longer woman. Yes, she'll be younger than her, but it's not like Polastri is not. It's not like Jasudavicius is like older and like past the prime. Like she's not like a 35, 40. I mean, 35 is not that bad, depending on unless you had like a long, extensive career, or you just looking every bit of 35 and you have a terrible diet and you took a lot of beatings in your life, whether in the cage, in the gym, or just in life in the streets. I don't know where you took some beatings at, or you just got a old felon body. But 35 ain't too bad. But she's 32. I'm just saying that she's very much in her MMA prime, still young in her career. And on the side, so it's not like the age difference is nothing great. It does give, what's her name, Polastri more chances in her career to get better, because she has probably like in her 20s, 25, 26. So she has some probably more years to get better. But it's not about what you're gonna do later. It's about what you're doing now. From what I'm doing now, what they're doing now, I'm liking Jasmine Jasudavicius more. She's longer, and she's like 5'7" versus the 5'2" Polastri. So a 5-inch height advantage. Then Polastri only had like a 62.6-inch reach, so she has some T-Rex arms. Her striking is pretty stiff. It's easier to hit her than to miss her. And her striking is very much raw, and it's about this being active. So a very low level of striking, but it's there and gets her by. She has some decent grappling, but I haven't seen no real great takedown offense from her, or seen a real great activity as far as getting the fight to the ground and looking for submissions. And actually, on the other side, Jasmine Jasudavicius actually has the more credible boxing background. Not like it's so great. Neither of these people have any great striking backgrounds, but for me, it does look like Jasmine Jasudavicius does have the cleaner striking. And grappling wise, at least when she's on a top position, Polastri does like the better grappler, but I haven't really seen her really fight the best competition on either side. And yeah, it's not really a whole lot to draw from, but I haven't seen her look all that grassy. Her striking looks very questionable. She's given a lot of height, a lot of reach. And it actually looks like Jasudavicius. Yeah, it looks like Jasmine Jasudavicius is the one that mixes up more. Like she looks to take it to the ground more. My one thing with her about her mixing take it to the ground, like a lot of times she gotta be a little bit a lot tighter with that body lock, because she likes to go for these body lock takedowns. And a lot of times she get caught on those head and arm throws, all those trips. But you gotta stand them up straight when you have that body lock, or have them against the cage. You falling into them, that ends up with opportunities for them to reverse it. And I've seen her get reversed a couple times, and that could be bad for her. I don't see Polastri having the best success with her takedown offense, but I definitely can see her a case of where Jasmine Jasudavicius commits too much to a takedown, or really not too much committed to, but gives too much space on these body locks and ends up on the ground, or tries to tries to get a body lock takedown and have so much bag space. What do you call an empty chip bag where you got more air? You're gonna have more chips than air. Well, I don't know what analogy I'm going with, but either way, you don't want to have somebody so far out that they can control their body and move and throw you. You want to have them tied up. You want to keep them tight to you, keep them straight, so they can't reverse you. Is what I'm trying to say. So that's something she needs to work on. That's really where I've seen people take her down or counter her and get on top of her. That's what I've seen. But she doesn't look bad on the ground, so it's not a case of oh, this woman is a much better grappler, and this other woman has a grappling deficiency. So it's not really no big points you could pick at. But I feel like there's more to pick at from that Jasudavicius can pick at on Polastri. And another thing I would say before this prediction ends is that a lot of people are leaning against her because of the Lisa Reed split decision loss. But put either of these women in here. Matter of fact, you put both of them on this, all three of these women in there with Sijara Eubanks on the same day, and they will all get like dominated by Sijara Eubanks. So losing to Sijara Eubanks does not make you a bad fighter, especially at 125 where she's huge and she's strong, and also she's much more experienced. Her record might look horrendous, but if you would equate her to anyone in any division, man or woman, it's like fighting a woman that should have been a title holder or should have fought for the title versus these women that just entry level, like they just getting there. So of course you're gonna dominate them and want to dominate all of them. So what that mean don't mean nothing for them. I think Lisa Reed probably is, matter of fact, better boxing, better mixed martial arts jiu-jitsu than Polastri. So Lisa Reed better than her, in my opinion. To get a decision, I mean, like, you should beat her. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that MMA math. But from what I'm seeing, like, she's longer, the better boxer, better striker. Grappling be a little bit iffy at times, but if she fights smart, use her skills, use that reach, touch up Polastri gonna give her give her opportunities to tag her, more opportunities to tag her than to miss her. Be long. I can see her getting decision, like using that length, get that body lock, hold her against the cage. It didn't look like Polastri was all that good against getting off the cage. I saw her opponent with a Kuna in her last fight has so many opportunities where she was just had her against the cage, was out striking her, was picking apart with every single shot, slow or fast, was like not missing anything. She was pitching a shot out on her chin, like her chin was there all day. But so I definitely feel like with that height, that reach, that length, and ability to mix it up, I'm gonna see with a low confidence, I'm picking Jasmine Jasudavicius to win via decision. So again, Jasmine Jasudavicius via decision.